Hey y'all, thanks for tuning back into Chickanic. I hope everybody's having a great week. It is a glorious day here in Arkansas. Spring has officially sprung and we are starting to get busy. And as much as I would love to just do some gardening or hang out by the pool, I gotta make that money. So hang out with me while I show you how I make about 150 bucks in less than an hour. And it's the middle of March, and like I told you, we go from twiddling our thumbs to being busy as all get out. But I did think this would be an interesting video for today. I had one customer drop off 3 different units, all with Briggs and Stratton engines, all of them different, but they are the most common engines you will find on most equipment. He said the pressure washer has been sitting for a long time. He doesn't know if it has any issues or not. The push mowers, though, both ran last year, and he wants them serviced. And I did notice a broken handle. All right, so eeny, meeny, miny, mo, which one do we want to work on first? Well, he said these 2 ran last year, so I'm going to go ahead and try to start one up. I'm going to go ahead and start with the 140cc Briggs and Stratton. Now, this engine goes on pretty much everything they come out with anymore. There might be slight variations to it. On yours might be the 150cc, which might have a different air filter, but pretty much these engines are all going to be the same. So let's check the fuel, check the air filter, check the oil, and see if she'll start up. She does have some fuel in her, been sitting since last year. Let's get a little suction out of that bottom, see if we got any water or trash in the bottom of that tank. I'm gonna see if I can get down in here with just my little pipette. Now, I do keep these in the description box below if you want to get some of your own. Everybody should have something like this, even to check your 2 strokes, get down to the bottom, make sure you don't have any water debris starting out this year. Might have to get my other one. No, I think I can reach to the bottom. Everything looks really good. It's not cloudy at all. We don't have any water in there. Good sign. Let's check this air filter. Oh, Lord. These are the worst air filters when it comes to getting clogged up. They clog so fast. The other ones, they have a sponge filter. They're never as bad as these, but look at that caked on. This thing couldn't breathe at all. But yeah, always check if you've got one of these air filters. You might have to replace it multiple times a year because I think because of how much area it has to suck the air through, it just clogs up very frequently. Go ahead and make sure she's got some oil in her. Yeah, got a little bit. When checking the oil, you want to screw it all the way down. Bring it back up. Yeah, she's got some oil in there. Doesn't look too bad. And last, I'm going to take a quick look underneath the deck and make sure the blade's not bent at a 90 degree or something like that. That would make it not safe to start. It's super dull, but it's straight. Now this one does not have a purge bulb, so I'm just going to go ahead and try to start it. Needs to be serviced. All right, so this one's going to be simple. It just needs a service, which includes a sharpen, a air filter, a spark plug. The fuel's fine, so I don't have to worry about that. And an oil change, even though the air filter cover says no oil change. And why do we do that? Because I have no idea why they ever thought this would be a good idea. If you've seen my videos before, you know that the oil does get gross in these and needs to be changed. I don't know if they just don't expect the life expectancy of these units to last that long, but even if it says no oil change your oil, guys. If you have this mower and you're planning on doing a service, I will leave links to what you will need in the description box below. It is an overhead valve, so you're going to need a RC12YC spark plug. You're going to need a 593260 either Briggs and Stratton or comparable air filter, and some oil. Now, I use the Briggs and Stratton, but whatever oil you want to use, you want to make sure that it is for small engine outdoor power equipment because it has zinc in it, which is much better for these type of engines than without zinc. And also, like I said before, you might have an engine that looks extremely similar to this one. It just has a different air filter. These are the ones that have the purge bulb in the center of the air filter base. And that's a part number 799579. And I'll leave it in the description box below too. I will want to shoot a little lube in the top of the kill cable here, and we'll also check all the wheels, make sure they're still aligned properly, have good thread, and not wallered out in the center. Now, I was going to sharpen this blade, but after further inspection, it needs to be replaced. Let me show you. To get this tip back into shape, I'd have to come way back here. Look at how rolled over it is on the edge there. You'll be able to see it more whenever I've got it off. But yeah, this thing is not in good shape. Yeah, look at that edge there. Not good. When you start seeing this part or the cutting edge rolled over or missing a part of it, you need to replace your blade, or if it gets real thin, because it's going to break off. Now, if you have a Briggs engine like this and it does not want to start and it's not simply a service, I've already made a video how to fix your mower in 10 minutes with a $13 part, how to go into the carburetor, clean it, change the jet out. I will leave a link in the description box below. So after getting done with the first walk behind push mower, we put in an air filter, spark plug, oil, a brand new blade. I charge a supply charge, which is for like paper towels, rags, etc. Oiled their cable, and then there's labor. And of course, I cleaned and checked the running. So before taxes, the customer has to pay $67.50. My profit, $47. Okay, eeny, meeny, miny. I'm going to save that one for last since he said that one's been sitting and it's probably not going to be as fun as this one. He said this was running, so we'll see. We're going to check everything just like we did on the last. First, let's see if there's some fuel in her. Not much. A little bit down there at the bottom. Still going to suck out some and see what she's got in her. It does not look cloudy. Okay, make sure she's got some oil in her. Looks good. Now, the other air filter was super scary. Let's see what this one looks like. Not as bad. Still not in good shape, but not as bad. Let's take a quick look under here. Blade looks straight. Now, even though we've got a broken handle on this mower, the kill cable's intact, so I'm going to go ahead and try to start it and see if she runs. Sounds good. Now, if you have one of these engines on your push mower or anything else, log split or whatever, hold on to it and take good care of it. These engines were built to last forever. In fact, this one This is a 2010, one of the last years that they came out with this thing. So definitely take care of these engines. They're the Flathead, so it's not going to take the RC12YC like all the newer engines. It's got a J19LM in it. You're going to have an air filter. It's a 491588 and some Briggs oil or comparative. Now, I did have a used piece of handle to replace on this one. I do want to show you something though, because I've seen this happen a lot when customers have taken their handle assembly off, maybe to put it in a car and transport it or something like that. When they go to put it back together, this needs to stick out where this bolt can screw back through it. Sometimes the customers don't know this. They might lose this bolt on both sides. They come in because they can't either start their mower or they think something's wrong with the engine because they can't pull it. It's actually them letting this bar slide down way too far and the blade hitting it. So always double check, make sure you've got your knobs here to hold your handlebar in place. Because you got to be careful. There's actually a square nut that goes in the backside here. People lose that all the time, and you can't tighten it back down if you don't have that nut in place. And that's two done. Now, thankfully for this customer, it was just a service, but if you go to start your Flathead Briggs engine this year and it will not start and it needs some carburetor work, I've already made a very detailed carburetor repair video. I will leave a link in the description box below. Now, after the second walk behind push mower, we put a air filter, spark plug, oil, sharpened the blade, another supply charge, oiled the cable. They also had to have that used lower handle, cleaned it, checked the running, and with labor, it comes out to $62.50. My profit after cost, $53. All right, last but not least, been sitting. But it looks like the last time we worked on it was May 5th of 23. Won't start. So let me see if it might start. It's got fuel in it. It's got oil in it. And let's check this air filter. Yeah, wasn't used that much. So I don't know. I think I'm going to just try to start it. Now, on the pressure washers, you don't normally want to start them unless they're connected to water. You can go ahead and just start it, see if it pops off, and kill it real quick. That won't do any harm. Well, it looks like it's just a service too. Now he does want us to go ahead and service it. So just like the other overhead valve Briggs engine, it takes the RC12YC. The air filter is a 797301 and the same Briggs oil. I will leave them linked in the description box below. One thing I did notice though is there is a oily buildup all around the base of the engine here. And when I get back here, the oil dipstick tube is leaking. So we need to replace the O-ring on that. Now the oil filler tube is held on with an O-ring into the engine block and then one screw going underneath this shroud. So I gotta remove the rewind cover to get to it. Well, this one isn't like the Flathead. Let me show you. Yeah, they can make this one simple and just have it held on with a screw. I have to remove this bolt and the gas tank to get the oil filler tube off. There we go. Oh yeah, that O-ring's shot. Now this is not a normal part of his service, but if you see it, it's something you gotta change. If you do need an O-ring, I'll leave a link to one in the description box below. It is a part number 692296. Now with the pressure washer, we put an air filter, spark plug, oil, the dipstick O-ring, the supply charge, and with the service labor, the customer ends up paying $52.50. My profit, $43. So after it's all said and done, I make almost $150 in less than an hour doing just 3 services. That's a pretty good gig. So guys, thanks again for tuning into Chickanic. Hopefully this will help you service your own equipment this year and save you some time, money, and frustration in the future. Don't forget, if you need anything you saw today, any of the parts, I will leave links in the description box below. And guys, if your mower was running fine last fall, you go to start it up this spring and it will not start, before you take it to the repair shop, try my super simple trick that you can find in this video right here.